Good morning and welcome to the Reading Public Museum. For those of you I don't know, my name's John Smith. I'm the director here at the museum, and we're delighted to welcome you out excuse me, this morning for the ribbon cutting and unveiling of Touch is Essential by Bruce Becker. Yeah, you can clap for Bruce, absolutely. This has been a passion project of Bruce's for a long time now. He'll tell you about it if you don't already know. But when he called and asked if it could be hosted here for its unveiling at the Reading Public Museum, of course, we were delighted to say yes. And I'm glad we were able to find enough green space to make it happen because Bruce's vision, if you know Bruce, sometimes it grows. So we needed lots of space for this. So we're delighted to have his work here. We're delighted to have you here. We hope that you'll, after you're done checking this out, feel free to stick around. The museum opens at 11 o'clock every day, and we hope, if you haven't been inside in a while, we hope you'll poke your head in and take a look around. This is the closing weekend for several big exhibitions. So we're opening this and closing other things, and we're delighted you could join us. So with that, I want to introduce a woman who needs no introduction. In fact, I'm standing on pathways that she helped fund the repaving of recently. So without further ado, Senator Judy Schwenk.
Thank you, John. Are all of you friends of Bruce? My gosh!
They are now.
Bruce, you're a lucky man. No, we are lucky. We are very fortunate to have someone, to have an artist who would create this work that will, have a lasting impact on our community. As, the years pass on and we learn to live through this, we're going to understand better the commitment, the sacrifices that so many, including probably some of you that are standing out there, have made in order to make this happen. I have some prepared remarks that I'd like to make. First, I'd say, though, I am so honored that Bruce even asked me if I would come and do this. And when he sent me the email that talked about this installation, this art sculpture, that this was also a part of the 18th Wonder. Are all of you familiar with the 18th Wonder Improvement Project is? It's a very organic kind of gathering of business leaders, citizens, community organizations, religious institutions like the museum, as well as some government officials that kind of gathered together to say, we have a community within the city, the 18th Ward, and there are a lot of things that we could do to make improvements to it. It's not a community in dire need of improvement necessarily that is, on its heels, but it is one that could be so much more and could give so much back to the people who live there. So very quietly, many business leaders and a few folks met together from the city, as well as even some of the surrounding boroughs, and a few of us, we were included, my office was included in that as well, and started to make some things like the trails that you see, the improvements to the sidewalks. So there was so much more, and there's so many businesses there. I took a tour of them, and I was so impressed with what I saw. So I guess what I'd say more succinctly is this was such an organic way to say, we want to make our community better, and this is how we're going to do it. And it's so impressive. So Bruce has attached this to the 18th Ward improvement effort, and I think it's such a fitting way to do that, because art is so much a part of our communities, is it not? Those are those things that we love and want to have. So I'm so pleased and proud that all of you are here to help unveil this installation. And I want to talk a bit about, the tribute that it is to our essential workers, the people who put their health on the line during the height of the pandemic and are still doing it, right? Because we're not out of this quite yet. We're gonna work our way out of this, obviously, at least in my opinion. But yet we're going to need individuals on those front lines that are going to continue to do the things that we need to do to live our lives. This has been a very unprecedented time, most certainly. So let's talk about who some of those people were. The people staffing the hospitals, of course, the grocery stores, maintaining our supply chain, ensuring that we didn't lose access to essential services, while a lot of us were sheltering in place. I think also about the folks that made sure that water came out of our pipes, right? And that it also got into the system, that kept our environment safe. The folks that, picked up our trash. So many people, individuals, that we don't even sometimes recognize, who went to work every day because those services had to continue. And thank God that they did. This installation is a wonderful tribute and something I believe can unify us as a community, and we need that, don't we? I always tell people what a unique place the Greater Reading area is, and this is a great example. We are so fortunate to have so many talented people, folks like Bruce, who stay here and are willing to continually contribute to our community. And I know many of you out there, each and every one of us, is making a contribution to this too. Look at this. It's amazing, right? Who knew such a beautiful piece of art was being created right here in Reading? We are indeed fortunate. I want to thank Bruce again for inviting me here today. I want to say thank you to everyone who played a role in making this happen and bringing it together. But most of all, I hope we all view touch is essential as more than a tribute to our essential workers and an opportunity to reconnect with a sense of touch. I put my hand up against it this morning. If you get here quick enough, the dew is still on it. And I think every day there'll be a different experience as you look at this. And I think, Bruce, that's what you meant, right? It's a tactile experience, not just one to view. It's a tribute to the strength of our community, to those who made the efforts to keep us going and continue to do this, and a sense of community as well. I am pleased to welcome you here, but even more so, to welcome Bruce to come up and talk about his work and what he has done. Bruce Becker, would you please come forward?
Very nice, appreciate that. Nah, let's not do it. Okay. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, John. Very nice. Appreciate everything you said. And look at you people, my word. Thank you for coming out today. You are very much appreciated. Oh my gosh. I see travelers, coming from different states. Didn't even realize. Okay, so thank you so much for coming. I'm going to be really brief, okay, so we can get at this, but there's a few things I do want to say. I want to start by telling you that from the very beginning of this project, which was May of 2020, 16 months ago, I knew then that I had two goals. One was to honor essential workers. Back then, I knew then it was important. We had to do that. I wanted to feature what they were doing and show what they were doing to help us through all of these tough times. But in a project like this, which I hope honors all essential workers, there is no way I could get 1 billion handprints. I mean, that's what it would have taken because there's that many essential workers. So we limited our scope to just Berks County. All the essential workers you see up here are all from Berks County. Most of them are here with us today. Now, of these 200, we tried to get as many vocations as we could. You will find 100+ different types of essential workers. I mean, everything from funeral directors, nursing home staff, nurses, doctors, dentists, grocery clerks, on and on. We tried to cover as many as we could, and I'm sure we missed some. So if you're an essential worker out there and we don't have you listed here, this is for you as well. It's just so many of you that we had to limit the scope of what we were doing. Thank you for participating, and thank you all for all of your work. Now the second goal. The second goal is I wanted this to resonate with everyone. How did I do that? That got me thinking about the pandemic itself and all of the loss that it's created. Loss of jobs, loss of finance, loss of relationships, loss of life itself. But the one loss that really impacted all of us globally, 8 billion people, was the loss of touch. We're all asked to stay distant from each other. no handshakes, no hugs, no casual touching of any kind. How could I reconnect us? That was my goal. So I merged those two, and this is what I came up with. The hands of the essential workers, the hands you couldn't shake to thank, are now here for you to touch, for you to connect with in your own way. Now, even though I came up with the idea, did the design, spearheaded the project, it took a team of people to do this. People and businesses. And I want to take a minute just to thank a few of them. You can see them all on the website, and in addition to on the website, what you can do is you can go deeper than just touching these hands. You will notice when you experience this that each of them is stamped with the vocation of what that person did, and there's a number. So when you go to the website, touchisessential.com, you can look up that number, you can see their photo, and you can read about how they've been helping us through this. 200 stories are there. Some of them are sad, some of them are tragic. They're all inspiring. I encourage you to go to the website and look at their stories as well. So the team that helped me put this together, as Judy mentioned, 18th Wonder Improvement Association, which I'm a part of, they were the first group to hear about it, and they latched on right away. Very thankful to them. Thank you so much, 18th Wonder. Then there were people like Dave Tallarico, Susan Lackey, Terry Reed, Patrick McCoy. I'm going to miss some of you, so I apologize in advance. Don Schock, Deb Millman, Molly Becker, Bruce Skipper, Ben DeMott, got to be here somewhere. Ben and I worked side by side with all the clay work on here for a good year. Timothy Becker with the photography. Michelle Culp did design work. Michelle Cambardella, which I always have trouble with your name. Got it? 7 years or so I've known you, and I still can't pronounce your last name. So many of you were just so helpful, and I thank you all very much. There was also a crew of volunteers that helped. Volunteers from mostly from the Warehouse Studios, where I teach, my studio, that are friends and students of mine. Thank all of you. Last but not least, in the terms of the people anyway, not the businesses, the people I want to thank Nikki. Thank you so much. Your support, your patience, totally valuable to me. I mean, like beyond words. You had to listen to me talk about it every day for 16 months. And you were there and you did. So thank you. Then there's the sponsors. Real quick with the sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be here either. Their financial aid, their services that they provided, tremendous help. The top of the list, gotta say, Penske. They caught on to this early on and just were very supportive in all sorts of ways. Thank you so much to Penske. The museum itself, thank you very much for allowing us to have it here. What a big help that was. I'm going to read through some of these. Again, they're all on the website. They're all local, so I ask you to support them all, but I don't want to miss them if I can help it. Berkey Construction, Reading Truck Body, Reading Housing Authority, Masano Auto Group, Wawa, Ace Hardware, Lanco Supply, Sir Speedy, Rove Dental Group, Spot Stevens and McCoy Engineering, and Reading Pediatrics. Thank you all very much for your help. Okay, one last thing I want to say, and then we're going to cut this ribbon. When you come up here and you experience this, you're going to find out that many of these tiles have been cracked, okay? They've all been repaired. They're stronger than ever. We expected that. We expected some to crack. I'm okay with it, because for me, it's symbolic. It sort of resembles the idea that none of us is coming through 2020 and the pandemic without some sort of scarring, without some sort of fracturing, but just like these tiles, we can all heal and we can all be stronger than we were before too. So with that, what do you say we cut this ribbon and have you guys experience it firsthand? Anybody have scissors? Thank you, hon. All right. How about a countdown? From 5? From 2020? Let's just count. 5.
4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Enjoy.
So happy for you. I'll take that. Yeah.
That's it. Enjoy. I'm gonna grab my drink.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Thank you so much.
That guy right there. Probably move that one out of the way.
There you go. Yeah. Yep.
That's from the dew overnight.
What I'd love to is that, like, spring. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's all right.
Yes. Yes. I think it was I didn't want to just throw him. I have to figure out how to get that down, you know? I'll tell you what, can you take it for me? Because I can't, you know what, it's my right hand. Yep. Very good. Very good. Okay. Maybe.
Perfect.